Boruto is the chosen one of Otsutsuki God, and the upcoming Jougan awakening is gonna prove this further. There are many hints suggesting the subtle connection that the prodigy and the deity share with each other. The expanding story of Boruto is getting really interesting, and I have come up with a few massive theories exploring the possibility of the Jougan's awakening along with its aftermath. So make that sub button disappear by clicking on it, and let's begin. The first theory is a brand new one, explaining how Boruto's death, revival, and Shibai's return is associated with each other. The major event of the recent chapter, where Boruto got his eye damaged by Kawaki, has created a big problem for the forthcoming glimpse of future. Earlier it was assumed this scene where Kawaki looks down at somebody will be the time when he scars Boruto's eye, but this theory has been officially debunked cause the blue-eyed boy has lost one of his eyes in chapter 78. So who's being looked down upon by Kawaki, and what has he done which made these people so angry? I believe this spectacle could be the end of Momoshiki from Boruto's life, and before I get into why I think so, let's understand how the monster has misinterpreted Boruto's fate that will soon perish his dream of taking him over. In chapter 78, Momoshiki said that Boruto is gonna lose everything rapidly from this moment, as the loss of the blue eye was just the trigger to his twist of fate. I believe that there comes a point in Boruto's life beyond which Momoshiki is unable to see his fate. The monster thinks that it's gonna be the point when the boy will lose everything, marking the beginning of his takeover. But it seems like he will not have a happy ending at all. The day when Boruto is bound to lose everything must be the same day when Toneri's prophecy shall come true, awakening the Jougan in his right eye. Momoshiki being so excited about the day beyond which he cannot see Boruto's fate might actually turn out to be the time when his consciousness will cease to exist. He cannot see his own future as Boruto, cause that would be a completely different reality for him. We know that he has pledged to protect Boruto at all costs, but what if this scene would be the time when he will fail to keep his promise of protecting Boruto forever? What if Kawaki actually lands a fatal blow on Boruto that will lead to a big fight between him and Mitsuki? Back in chapter 78, Mitsuki was shown to be really annoyed by Kawaki's actions. He could have taught him a lesson by going out of his way and attacking him after he destroyed Boruto's eye, but he did not do anything like that and calmly followed Shikamaru's plan. This means his rage mode from the glimpse of future can be taken as a hint that Kawaki has actually crossed his limit this time. He has done something that nobody does to a friend, and there is even a bloodstain on his face. It seems like Kawaki has killed Boruto again, seizing the existence of Momoshiki completely this time. So how is Boruto still alive in the time skip then? This is where the Jougan and Shibai's role comes into play. We know that Shibai ascended to a higher plane of existence, which could also mean that he was reduced to a spirit, and once Boruto dies for a second time, his body could serve as the perfect vessel for Shibai's soul, since there is no trace of Momoshiki left in him. This would explain why the Jougan is called the Pure Eye, and its association with the Pure Land, as Shibai will have to descend from there to make Boruto his vessel. But now the question remains, why would he make Boruto his vessel in the first place? I feel like it has something to do with the spiritual stature that he acquired after striving hard for millions of years. Shibai, after becoming the Otsutsuki god, must have realized that devouring planets and destroying life for the sake of becoming stronger is a really cruel and immoral practice. He must have acknowledged that this hunt for power of the Otsutsuki clan should be stopped. That's why he chose Boruto as his vessel, cause even though he was an Otsutsuki, he lacked the will to destroy planets for the sake of attaining power. The blue-eyed boy can easily fix the flaws of both the shinobi and the Otsutsuki system, and the deity could act as a guide to Boruto in achieving true peace across the universe. I feel like once his mission would be complete, he will take the Jougan back from the boy at the end of the series. There's another possibility for Shibai to talk to Boruto, and in this scenario, he won't even die. But before we get to that, let's figure out why Amado did not shut down Kawaki by or before the time skip. What if I told you the scientist is actually on Kawaki's side for a really solid reason? Amado's reaction upon hearing what Konoha intends to do with Kawaki is straight up fearful. The old man has spent 12 years of his life working with Jougan, researching the Otsutsukis and the Kama seal just for the sake of bringing his daughter back. He certainly won't gamble with his chances of reviving her by going against Kawaki. I feel like Amado does not want to lose her anymore. That's why when Kawaki might use his Kama to revive AKB, she could turn out to be an Otsutsuki, and that would make her immortal. I'm not saying she could become a bad news for the shinobi world, but the possession of Otsutsuki genes could grant her immortality. I hope you have realized where this is going. Amado could become Kawaki's right hand in his mission of terminating Otsutsukis just for the sake of reviving his daughter. He could provide him all the intel he needs, including the information that he knows about Konoha and other nations. In return, Kawaki would revive his daughter daughter by implanting the karma onto Delta or some other clone. The only question which remains is that how are they gonna meet under the conflict which is going on at present? Do let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Now let's move on to the theory where Boruto gets the Jougan without dying and the vital role of Kashin Koji in his life. If Boruto is still alive in this scene, then the bloodstain on Kawaki's face indicates that he either kills Sasuke or Mitsuki. The death of either of these people will have a tragic impact on Boruto and he will feel like a useless nuisance whose allies died because of him. This grief will force Boruto to end his life, and that's when Momoshiki will take him over, marking the fulfillment of his prophecy. But what will happen to Boruto once the monster will take over? According to Momoshiki, he will strive in the corner of his psyche forever, while his body will permanently belong to the Otsutsuki after that. Now this is where Shibai's role comes into play. Remember how Hagoromo met Naruto and Sasuke back in Shippuden? A similar phenomenon could take place in Boruto's case since he was granted the Jougan in his right eye. It could be that Shibai knew Boruto's fate will take him to this point, and now when he's all alone in a corner of his consciousness, Shibai will emerge to teach him everything about the pure eye. I even believe once the Jougan will awaken, the people who are gonna be present at this scene will witness its awakening, leaving them totally surprised. Momoshiki could then appear to talk to Boruto about the Jougan, and that would be the last conversation they will ever have. I feel like either his soul will erase from existence, or he will have no purpose in being the boy's host, so he will remain silent for an eternity. The way Kawaki does not want to kill him anymore in the future could be a hint that Momoshiki has actually left Boruto's consciousness. Talking about the new mentor of Boruto, if Amado allies with Kawaki, then I feel like Kashin Koji would be the one to train Boruto during the time skip, and here is why. Both Naruto and Sasuke left Konoha at Boruto's age, and not to mention Sasuke left with Orochimaru, who was an outsider and enemy of Konoha. Kashin Koji is also technically an enemy of Konoha since he was associated with Kara. Naruto on the other hand left the village with Jiraiya, and Koji being the clone of the Sanin makes this possibility really plausible. Boruto before going with Koji would take the final mementos of his master. That would explain the 6-year-long time skip mystery of his outfit. There must be some solid reasons for the writers for saving Kashin Koji by the hands of Ishiki. He could have died there just like Jiraiya, and that would mark a really good end to his predestined legacy. I'm curious about the role of Aida, cause she can easily check on Boruto's whereabouts, but I don't think Konoha would bother asking her that, cause there's nothing they could do with that information. Boruto and Kawaki both leaving the village is really good for the leaves' peace and harmony. The only problem arises with Code's revenge, but here comes the twist. Since both Naruto and Sasuke have been dealt with, Code will most likely hunt for his main target Kawaki. There is a subtle hint from the time skip scene foreshadowing the defeat of Code, and that is the fabric of Kawaki's scarf. It's exactly the same as Code's attire, and I feel like he's using it as a memento of victory against him. There is a lot more symbolism in Kawaki's future attire, like these trousers being taken from Jigen's monk outfit and this jacket belonging to his father. So did Kawaki went to his father and Jigen's place after leaving the village? I hope you subscribe as I'm about to discuss this in a future video really soon. Till then you can watch these videos to explore some more Boruto theories. I will see you next time.